Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not welcome back to Halloween Horror Month. Today we're talking about Borderline. Yes, Borderline. Starring Samara Weaving and Ray Nicholson. And Eric Dane is also there. Yeah, so this is something, I guess you could classify this as a found on IG, because I found this through Samara Weaving's Instagram. She was talking about this. I'm not gonna call it that. I'm just gonna, you know. So and I'm like, oh, it's only gonna be streaming on like Amazon and stuff. Okay. But then they made a Blu-ray, which didn't come to Walmart. I had to order it off eBay, so I had to extradite this thing. I had to export this here to me. And I want to, because when I saw the trailer, I'm like, this looks pretty interesting. It's written and directed by Samara Weaving's husband, Jimmy Warden. He wrote Cocaine Bear, and apparently, I didn't know this till afterwards, but now that I know, The Babysitter Killer Queen, and I was just like, like he wrote Cocaine Bear. I liked Cocaine Bear. He also wrote The Babysitter Killer Queen. That explains the unevenness. Yeah. But even so, it's like there's a lot of gore in those movies. Cocaine Bear, not so much, but those Babysitter ones, there was barely anything here. Another thing I found out after the fact, this is set in the 1990s. Wouldn't be able to tell that from watching it. Although it does explain why there was a scene where she's smoking in the club, and I'm like, wait, you can't do that. Now I know it's the 90s, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I didn't think of that. And the premise essentially is that Ray Nicholson plays this guy, Paul. He's cuckoo pants, and he believes that he and Sophia, Samara Weaving's character, are in love and are going to be married. And one night, he and a couple of cohorts break into her mansion to set up this wedding. And yeah, she's got to survive. Her sort of boyfriend has to survive. And then the security guard guy, who feels like it's his story, but then we don't really do much with that. Yeah. It's a weird narrative because Paul is the narrator, so it's unreliable as hell. He's like, all good things start with the end, right? And so they show like a wedding and everything, and it's just like, well, you know, from the trailers, this is not what's going on. And then it cuts to he's outside her mansion, and Eric Dane is the security guard, won't let him in. And then he starts to think that Eric Dane is Sophia. So Eric Dane plays along with him. Bell. His name is Bell. Bell plays along with him. And he ends up stabbing Bell. And then getting inside. We find out later that she wasn't even there. So my question is, if she wasn't there, why was her security there? Right? Shouldn't she's, by the way, she's supposed to be a pop star and actress in this universe. Wouldn't her security go with her? Why was it's confusing. Flash forward, I don't know, some time later. And he's gotten out of the nut house, and he brought with him Penny, played by Alba Baptista, Chris Evans' woman. And she's cuckoo pants too. And sometimes Irish, or French, sometimes French. I don't know. Sometimes she sounds normal, and sometimes she, I don't know. No, it's like Artie from, or Arnie from, Bone Chillers. You change it, he's an accent every time. So now he also has this big dude who wears an eye patch, and they're going to sneak in. And then we see, like, she's going clubbing. clubbing. She going clubbing. Clubbing. Going clubbing or are we going clubbing? Clubbing. We're going clubbing. Pest reference there. And then she's got this basketball boyfriend of hers, Devontae. Yeah. It's revealed that Belle survived the stab wound and kind of has been gone for a while. 6 months, I think, is what they said. Now he's back and he's going to start working, but his daughter doesn't want him to work. Go back to work because he got stabbed last time. She thinks it's dangerous, but it's his job, so he has to do it. Right? Well, that night, Paul puts his plan into action, and, he shoots Belle in the head. Although later it's found that he survived. How the fuck do you survive a gunshot to a head? That's the kind of writing we're in for here. It doesn't make any sense. He's shot point blank in the head, and it's just like a graze on the side of his head is what it is. I'm just like, how do you... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But they break in. First the power goes out, and then boyfriend dude has a breakdown because he will get a breakdown before this. He thinks that she's just using him, which it's a stab of the times because that's exactly what Britney Spears did to Justin Timberlake. By the way, the whole thing with them. He got sick of her attitude and her whole thing. Like, he had an image at the time, and she was tarnishing that with the alcohol and stuff like that. Now it doesn't really matter because he'd be wearing a hood and doing this and letting people sing. And then having people cover his ass and say, he's got Lyme disease. No, he's an alcoholic. Maybe some drugs. I'm sorry. What Lyme disease makes you go out on stage and be like, I understand some bands do that where they, but he was barely singing the song in that video I saw, and he's making everyone, is that, can't stop the feeling, yeah, that song, and he's got, if it was a thing where he wanted them to sing, fine. But they're clearly playing the track in the background while he is singing and they're pointing to that audience. Yeah. And people were defending him and say, oh, it was just that song. That's how he does it. I don't know. Dude's just wearing a coat. I get his coat off something. I don't know. I watched the HBO concert he did one time. It was fantastic. His second album, the Future Sex Love Stone or whatever it's called. That one. I had that album. I don't know. Anyway, so the lights go out, and baby, when the lights go out, pop reference. Yeah. So, and we get the scene where Paul sneaks in. I think boyfriend gets knocked out, or no, he goes out to check the breakers, and he ends up going outside because they have an argument about checking the breakers. She goes to check the breakers. He gets locked out. And then he comes back just in time to see her trying to get out. Okay, so why the hell is her latch lock, the deadbolt thing, where she can't fucking reach it? That is one of the things in this, probably the thing that makes the least sense. It's like, why would you put that lock where she can't reach it? It makes no sense. Why? It's her house. I don't understand it. And her security is outside most of the time, so how? I don't know. I don't understand. Not that matters, is how did Paul get in then? Break windows or something? I don't know. He smacks her against the window. I did like this, where he goes up and he just wipes it clean. Most people just leave it. He's the special kind of weird, where he wipes it off. Yeah. Eventually, boyfriend guy does get back in, but he gets knocked unconscious by Alba Baptista. Yeah. Or they have a fight in the garage or something. After she takes out the lead security guy who's not Belle. Like, yeah. Just, yeah. And meanwhile, they also have kidnapped Belle's daughter and wife or housekeeper. It's never specifically said. I think it's his wife. I don't know. And bringing them to the house so they could be a part of the wedding. Okay. You know this wedding's going to be the big thing. They also have a pastor. We're Protestant. A pastor in a box. Padre in a box. Padre in a box, babe. A priest in a box. A priest in a box, babe. Pastor. We're Protestant. Yeah. I like how he's talking to the daughter about this. You have a priest in a box? Oh, pastor. We're Protestants. We're Protestant. And so yeah. I mean, well, she's stuck. Boyfriend wakes up, and she helps wake him up. But then Penny finds them, and he's knocked unconscious again. I think because the following scene. So they're all sitting in one room while Penny is dealing with Sophia, and it's showed earlier that Penny is also a musician, and they both play piano. So they start playing piano. Oh, by the way, I want to point out, the one thing I wanted from this is to have the Madonna song, Borderline, in this movie. Because I hate it when you name a movie after a song, then don't put that song in the movie. Or, not name it after, but you have a movie that has the same name as the song, and you don't put it in the movie, right? I can't think of one on top of my head like that right now, but like... I don't remember. I can't think of it on top of my head, but like... Yeah, and they do, but it's not Madonna's, because they didn't want to pay the rights for it, so they just had someone do a cover of it. On a board, and I started playing it. I'm like, "This is Madonna. Is this a song?" Because I often confuse Borderline with Manic Monday for some reason. But no, this was Borderline. The Borderline. But no, this is the scene that had me scratching my head. Probably Boyfriend Guy too, because like she starts playing and you just hear do 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 do. I'm like, when you touch me like that, and you kiss me like that. They're all coming back to me by Celine Dion. I can guess that. I'm good. So she starts playing on the piano and everything. Then she starts singing. And I want you to watch this scene. It's on YouTube. The look on Samara Weaving's face when she starts singing. And then Sophia starts singing. And they just do this duet. And while they're doing it, we cut to Boyfriend Guy laying there. And he's like, very confused as to what's going on. He's like, and they're doing really good with this duet, and then whoever wrote this decided, okay, we need a fight scene now. So just in the middle of this, and I do like Sophia's response too, because it's like they start singing, Penny stops and just smacks Sophia in the face, and she's like, what the fuck? Yeah, because you guys were doing pretty good there. And yeah, and then they set her on fire. And it just kind of gets away from the room, and she ends up setting her on fire. Meanwhile, Paul decides to come check and see what's taking so long, and here's where the movie loses me. I mean, I was laughing my ass off, but because I swore I was losing my own mind with this. There's some good comedy here, but He comes in and he sees boyfriend guy, Devante, standing there. And he now thinks that that is Sophia. So he's like, well, where's your wedding dress? He's like, what? You gotta have to put the wedding dress on. And I'm just like, he's just like, what? Yeah, and then we go to the wedding. I think the big guy finds her. Go to the wedding, and when they get there, so Sophia's already standing in the place she should be, which you got backwards, and then the big guy standing as the best man. And then Paul comes in and is like, okay, will you sit over there? Confused look on her face. Ma'am, will you sit down over there? And even she looks at the big guy and he's like, are you not marrying Sophia? He's like, yes, of course. But Paul, Sophia's, it's okay. And then, well, by this point, Bella has made it back and he's just sitting there in the pew. And then Devante comes in a wedding dress. Yeah, and so, yeah, we see this wedding, and we see it from Paul's point of view, which he believes he's marrying Sophia. And then he's kissing her and everything. And you're watching this, and in the back of your mind, you have to think, oh, he's actually kissing Devante. And then it cuts to he's actually kissing him. Yeah. And and even the people there in attendance are just very confused. Even his own henchman guy, the big guy with the eye patch, is very confused. I don't remember his name, I'm sorry. He's very confused at what's going on. He's like, hey, I don't know. Eventually, Paul gets knocked the fuck out. And knowing that this is about to be the end of it, he grabs a little girl. This is what brought me back a little bit. He grabs a little girl, he's like, okay, I got a hostage. And you gonna let me get out of here? You drop the knife? And he drops the knife and he kicks it between his legs. And, I forgot to mention, Paul has stabbed Devante. And Devante has fallen back. So when he kicks the knife through, I'm like, oh, Devante's gonna grab that knife, isn't he? He's like, got it. Now we're gonna get out of here. And next thing you know, you see Devante pop. You see the look on their faces first. On Samara Weaving's face and his face. And Devante has popped up behind him, stabs him in the throat, and slashes it. It gets on the little girl. You don't see it at first. And he's like, I don't think I meant to do that. And it pans to the little girl, and she just goes, what the fuck? I'm sorry. Little kid swearing makes me laugh. It does. Oh. It's funny. And then we see a scene of them going to the limousine, and then it snap cuts that he's actually being put in a police car. Kind of funny. And Sophia says that she and Devante are going to work on the relationship, and he's like, well, I'm married. She's like, It's a joke, but yeah. And, by the way, I forgot to mention, this made me laugh too. When Belle wakes up, he's still in the ditch he was left in, and he's found by this woman, Kaylor. And she's like, are you okay? He's like, Taylor? It's Kaylor. Right. I need a car. And she's got a Porsche. And it snap cut to he's taking off in the car, leaving her behind. I guess I'll just stay here. Or I guess I'm just gonna walk. Made me laugh. But and he decides that he's going to find a different job, one that's not so dangerous. So. And then the end of this is Paul. I want to call him Paul the wine guy because they're friends. Paul in his limousine. He's in a police car. He's like, I've never been in a limo before. We're going to the hotel. Got a honeymoon suite. And then the Bahamas or something like that, and then it kind of reminds you of Pearl, where it's just like one long take where he's in the car like this through the credits, but you see like different emotions coming across him. Yeah. Um. And don't hate me, but I kind of like this a little bit better than Pearl. I think it was more my style, the comedy and horror and stuff. Don't get me wrong; it's not. I don't know what I expected, but it's fine, I guess. I'll give it a middle of the road. I liked it. I liked it. I just don't know if it was worth expediting, uh, exporting from. I say exporting. It wasn't in a different country. It was in a different state, but still, it was middle of the road. It was fine. Do I hate watching it? Do I regret watching it? No, no. I had fun with it. That's what's most important about movies. You have fun with it. I did. So, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Borderline? Make a comment, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.